this will be a bit strange that I do this poem because it's not a slam. It's not a slam yet, but it's advice. Maybe some poets out there would like this. It's sort of 4 do's and don'ts about how to get through the first round of a poetry slam, and I'll tell you afterwards why I'm doing it here. So it's called How to Get Through the First Round of a Poetry Slam. Do make sure one of the judges overhears you say, "You've never seen such a poetic, intelligent, literate, and frankly sexy judging panel in all your born days." Don't lose track of the 3 minutes and grind your verses out regardless, treating the beeping of the timer as a rogue ringtone in the front row. Do try to crack jokes, but not so many that the judges regard you as lightweight. Don't be too serious or they'll condemn you a glumfest. Do try to strike a happy medium, but you may then be marked down for being neither knout nor summit. Don't reveal your sensitive side too early. Cold audiences don't like raw wounds. In later rounds, the scores will start to drift upwards, and then you can risk the piece about the time you woke in tears in a tent in France and escaped to a beach where your sorrow ripped a hole in the clouds and the beauty of the moon and stars set you whimpering like a child. Do disregard the last time you competed, even if you got 10 out of 10 for performance, content, fashion sense, and strictly come poetic dancing. Tonight's judges have never seen you before and may be reluctant to see you again. And finally, don't forget to make a second copy of this poem with the alternative title, How to Get Knocked Out in the first round of a poetry slam. Thank you. You've all been there, I can see that. And the reason this is true, the reason I had to do it here and not in the slam is because I once tried an earlier version of that in the slam and I got knocked out in the front round. Tell when the judge is taking it for granted, taking you seriously. This is called Hello Magazine Visits Samson in Prison. Samson surprised us with a new short, jazzy, spiky, bristly hairstyle. He'll see you now, the jailer had said, but of course he couldn't. The pit they kept him in was a bit Philistine in our view, and could have done with a few flowers and an ornament or two, but it was spacious and airy, at least between his head and the sky. We asked if he and Delilah were still an item. I'd have to say no, he replied. Private loyalty can only stretch so far in the face of public humiliation. It was okay in the beginning, but then she fell into the unfortunate habit of betraying me to the barber. My plans for the future? Recuperate, recover my strength, grow old, grow happy, grow my hair, find a couple of pillars to lean on. A question eats at me as I try to remember her face. Why did she want to be with me in the first place? Thank you. This is a really old poem that I've never performed. It's called Wild Horses, but it's not really about wild horses, it's not about horses at all. I suppose about Samson, it's about old people, it's about anyone who's stuck. But wild horses. Towards dawn, the breeze freshens, branches dance to the beat of the waves. In its stall, the stallion wakens. He longs to gallop on salt flats beside shallow lakes where flamingos gather in clouds of pink. He longs to race along deserted shores into thinning morning mists and endlessly opening horizons. He longs to run among drumming hoofs salt-caked hooves, salt-caked mane. He longs to run among drumming hooves, salt-caked mane, and eyes that see the wind. He whinnies and kicks against walls specifically designed to contain such impulses. His heart pulses with the pain of prison. Two short ones to finish with. This is called Amy Winehouse Live. The dead singer glories in obscurity and becomes the sort of shadow once glimpsed by soldiers to calm their terrors in the trenches. Travellers at rush hour stations swear they've caught sight of her in a space beside the panicked rampage from underground platforms to sunlit surface. Others think they see her standing by the calm pools shining between the journeys which always return to the same place. Her truest voice, unheard by millions, sings in empty stations and echoes along moonlight reflecting, rusting, unused railway lines. And I'll finish with this. It's either change of mind or the 21st century change its mind. I'm not quite sure which, but you can take it as you want. Change your mind. I'm going to change my mind. And I don't mean a minor variation, a whim, a caprice, or even a New Year's resolution. I mean a major change, a radical makeover, where I get builders to knock down walls and build extensions incorporating stunning views of the outside world. There's no place smaller than the world, and no place bigger than the mind. I'll fit some walk-in wardrobes. You can't have too much storage space when time has kept so many souvenirs. On the guest room door I'll write, bring your tears into this place. Go home without them. I'll put a quiet room in my mind's eye where people look at red and dark and cloud and light. Now that the grand design is on, I'll change my mind forever and for better. Let's go, 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 and let the sun shine in. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. I knew that swim would get me an honour.